I'm looking at this right now, and from a high time frame, how am I making my assessment? So this is kind of logic flow that I'm doing right now. So let's say we were right here in the moment, right? At first, I would mark this level to say, oh, this is completely unencumbered. There's nothing there. It's, it looks like a great test. I'm also aware that we have a lot of smaller time frames in here, and there's a candle that goes through it. So I know there's some kind of interplay in there. There's some type of action in there that's creating holds and breaks and all these things. So I just need to be aware of it. So this move is happening, and voila, we hit a level. So I already knew that there's some kind of interplay in between here. There's some type of movement up and down on different time frames. It's creating pseudo holds and all these things. So I simply go to my next time frame, and I would have had this level here, which is the 12-hour, completely unencumbered, not really tested or touched by anything. So this one's pretty clear. It's not like the daily. Like you can see the difference here is that you have a daily candle here, okay, and this is fine. This is a great hold level, and this can hold it long term. But you're looking for more of the knife catches. When you see this candle going through it like this, you know there's some type of action that's happening in that candle somewhere. You don't simply just go over top of it. It's not completely unbreached by anything. It has something that goes right through it. So automatically we can say, okay, we're on the daily. There's going to be something on a lower time frame. Now you could go all the way down to the hourly or the 4-hour. I don't necessarily know if I'd go down to the 5-minute and like the 15-minute, maybe the last time frame I'd go to here, being that it's a daily candle. But if I was doing this on a 4-hour, yeah, okay, I would go down to a 15 and possibly even a 5. So I would just kind of dictate it based on the candle that I'm on. But what I do know for sure is that there's some kind of hold levels, like I said, some kind of interplay that happens here, some type of hold levels and break levels on different time frames, because that is going through this and it's not completely unencumbered. Had it been completely unencumbered, I know there's not really any kind of ranges that are developed here. So what this candle is showing me is that there's ranges developed inside of here, okay? So as I go down in time frames, I can see, oh, okay, this is fantastic. I actually have a completely unbreached range. Like there's nothing that's going through it and creating a bunch of hold and breaks on smaller time frames. Actually, this candle here just gives me my perfect spot, because simply on one lower time frame, it's perfect. Just like this one here. It doesn't have a huge body close through it. It has a pretty clear indication that there's a pretty strong hold level that's being held there, right? So almost reading between the lines. So I want to repeat that, what I said about this candle up top. You can tell there's not a lot of hold levels created inside of here. And if there is, there's just one, which means it was holding this level, right? So you can tell that there's a hold level here that's still being respected. So even if we were to take this, no, we don't want to exit replay. Even if we were to go back to here and we're seeing this on the 12-hour, I'm sure there's a 1-hour hold level here that's being respected, right? And it is, it's right there, right? So that's, go back to your higher time frame here, our 12-hour. If TradingView will let us, come on, like this. Let this thing play out. Oh, we're not quite far enough yet. And you have it in here, which creates the next hold level in here. So if we were to simply come back to here, go back to that hourly chart, and then just, simply create our next hold level right here, you'll see it get touched perfectly. Like, it's just exactly what you would expect, right? Like it's exactly what you would expect, just based on the look of the candles. It's exactly what you would expect. There's a hold level in here that's getting respected very well. So there's going to be kind of like a final hold level there, as opposed to this where you are on the daily right here. You see this candle completely breaches through. You know there's a whole entire range inside of this that is somewhere from the bottom of this to the top of this. Like this whole entire range has some kind of pseudo valleys and breaks on higher time frames, as to where this is just going to have kind of one. This you can clearly see. This isn't. It's just going to have one. This is going to have its own set, right? And you can see it on the 12-hour. You can see there's a whole entire range from here to here, right? So then we go forward in this, right? Okay, that's it. Great. I still know that a few things are true. That broke there, which creates this here, right? So there's going to be some kind of final hold level that gives us the final low of this move between this, which is now tested, and here, because this did create a backside, front side, or kind of a 2-range test combination level. As to where the daily, well, that's fine. That daily is nice. I'm sure it would have been okay for a 25x. I'm sure this has, gets respected on 25x or 50x or whatever. That's fine. We're looking for the right level, right? So then we're here. We start to break down this chart a bit, and we could say, okay, that was tested. So now you have some kind of level inside of here. This is already tested. What can we find on the hourly? You have to find the untested level, right? So you're here and you've got that right there as the first one, right? That's your 12-hour. Second one, oops. Second one, if you trail it down. So this is tested, that's tested. This is kind of untested. And let's look for something a little clearer here. Yeah, it's actually right here. It's perfect. It's the perfect level. It's the only untested piece. Like this is tested right here. The range before that is all tested. This is tested back here. This is tested. There's nothing here. Maybe there's something even lower, but now you're starting to get into 5-minute time frame. So if you have two levels, which one is going to bounce the move, right? Well, we don't even know if there's a second 5-minute level. Like, okay, there's one here that's tested. That's tested. That's tested. That's tested. That is not. Oh no, this is just kidding. That's tested. But then we're back into the upper part of the range. Now we're back past that part of the range. So if this is tested, again, we're going back down into this range somewhere and trying to find that level. So we actually had it on the higher time frame, right? We actually had it completely unencumbered on the higher time frame right here. So if we play this through, the next logical point, and this would be that next point there. This might take a while. Okay, we'll let it play through. If we're looking at this move, next logical point, well, that would be it, right? 86.30. Lose trend. Go right to it. Oops, I hit the button there. Oops, I meant to hit pause. Okay, let's go back to that for a second. Right, we lose our trend, and this is kind of that same scenario where we're saying, okay, final test, final hold, right? That's our trend. That's going to create our final untested level. Now there could be another untested level in this range. We haven't gone that far yet, but anyways, we know that this is completely unencumbered by anything, right? So it's the next logical place that there would be a buy. And then it goes straight to there. One touch knife catch, right? Which gives you your trend adaptation to here, right? Which is going to give you your final level right here. And there could be something else on this, the smaller time frame, which there is. There's this right here, which gets tested. This right here. You could come down to this level, but nah, you're holding the range pretty nicely. This was the 12-hour. We don't need this any longer. We no longer need this, but yeah, I suppose it's a 12-hour. What do we want? 1-minute candles? Oh boy, maybe we need to go to a 5-minute candle here. I just wrecked it, didn't I? Oh, we actually did get there. We actually did go up, reach our target back here, and then we actually drop down to that level perfectly, which moves us to right here. Come on. No, we never actually reached that level. Higher time frame, maybe 15. As always, the problem was starting. So this is tested right here. So that's fine. This is tested. So you'd be right here. Actually, this would be the perfect buy right here. And you guys see how I found that higher time frame down instead of frontal time frame through, right? So that's, when I'm thinking of logic flow and I'm thinking, okay, where can I set my targets? It kind of becomes very clear where smart targets become when you are breaking it down like this, right? Like you have, and we can get rid of this one. Maybe we need to keep it. That's fine. We keep it. We start with a higher time frame, right? Again, simply the daily right here, breaking time frames down. We have the 12-hour, which is tested. So we know our range lives in here somewhere, here to here. And then as we break it down, we end up coming to the only untested level that's in there, which is this right here, greediest point, right? There's nothing left. This is the only thing. That's it. Maybe it was on the 5-minute. I found it. Could have been the 5-minute. I thought it was a 15. No, it's the 15. I don't need to change that. I'm sure it was. Or was it the 5? Yeah, it's this one right here, right? Yeah. Now you can see that on a 5-minute it's tested. 15, completely unencumbered. But there's nothing left below that. If that's not holding, it's down here somewhere. So like everything is tested below to break. I don't know. Maybe we should, before we say that, we should go in here and take a look. Something like this is possibly untested. No, that's tested too. It's all tested. Let's stop it right here. Take a look at a deeper time frame too. You could possibly hold the move here. Doubt it. I don't think there's anything left in this. There is. It's tested. This is it right here. Eesh, it's pretty low. Yeah, also don't know if I would use this. I think this is just going to fall right through. I think the bigger trend breaks it and it falls right through. And there's obviously nothing left back here. It's way too thin. 82.74 test there. Possibly right there. No, that's all tested. Possibly you have something at 82.80. I don't think I'd be buying that though. I think I would not be taking a long there. If we get to that range there, I would rather look at trends and see what's breaking it down to this down here. So when I'm looking at this chart, I'm seeing this, like, pull yourself back to here. And I've got such a clear 1 hour level that there's no way this thing doesn't at least bounce. There's no way. It's not possible. It's just such a clear 1 hour level. It's right there. It's so untouched by everything. There's not even a candle that goes through it. It just goes straight up and over, like as clear as day for a whole level to buy a catch to catch a knife. It's so perfect, right? The 15-minute, I simply would have stopped there and I would have said, okay, here's like, where are we here? I simply would have been like this. Okay, yes, there's a 15-minute level here. That's tested. So then you're somewhere something like this, right? Like some kind of backside frontside combination between there and there. But it's not enough. Like it's just not strong enough of a level. Like I'm not buying 15-minute hold levels unless it's like the greediest part of another range. Like this makes sense. Buying some intermediate level between it kind of feels too high. Let's delete these. I'll show you what I mean. Kind of goes back to what I was saying before about, like, we're on a daily time frame. This makes a lot of sense. Go to the 4 hour, find the greedy part of that level, which is right here. That's fine. There's nothing left in there. Go to the 1 hour, find the 1 hour. Yeah, that's fine. Past this, and I'm looking, trying to buy 15-minute hold levels when this is the bottom here. Like, I think this is actually the top of the range of where I would buy. I think this is actually buying even pretty high still, because when I'm looking at this, I'm seeing it can go all the way down to more likely 77.80. There's no 4 hour. A 1 hour, okay, sure, 1 hour is justifiable. A 15-minute being all the way up here, like, look how far away you are from the actual level it could possibly hit. 1 hour, I understand. The 15-minute here, there's no goddamn way I'd buy a 15-minute level. Not. There's no way. There's just no way I'd be buying this 15-minute level with how low this thing could go. Like, what are you, like 5, 6, 7% away still? Yeah, you're like almost 6% away from where it could go. You're buying 6% over, 5.5% over where it could possibly go. You see what I mean? Like, it's just way too high. The hourly, and if this range is going to test twice, why would one of them be up here? Now, fine, it does that on BitMEX. I simply would have just missed the trade. It's just quite as simple as that. I would have missed the trade. But I can say that I wouldn't have taken 81.50. There's no way. It's way too high to where it could possibly go. If you're going to have two tests of this range, like, you know, you're 2% away here, that's justifiable. And then even like down in here is a second test, that's also justifiable. But if I'm going to test this range twice to see if this move is going to hold, that's definitely not. My first test definitely wouldn't be at 81.50. I can't see one of them being here making sense. Now, if it does, it does. But it's surely not where I would take a trade. Again, just to go through that. Again, if you have two range tests on this right here, because this is the range right there, like that's it right there, right? Like that's the untested piece that's going to hold it up. If this is going to be the final range test, which again, this could have the 1-2 range test in there. This could be like our top level could be the first one. The second one could be here, right? You have to realize that could be first part of the range test, second range test. So this is backside. This is front side, and then there's another backside front side combination level, possibly right here, or even somewhere in here as the final piece. That could just be a 1, and then this level right here as 2 to the range right here, which could also just be the number 2 here, where you have the number 1 somewhere else. So Again, to trade this level as the first part of a two-piece range test in here kind of doesn't make sense. I would be, again, 100% okay with backside being number one, front side being number two. It goes after the hourly. You still would have been fine here. You're within 0.3, so you would have been fine. The hourly is the more appropriate, but I would say, like, if you use the backside here, you would have been perfectly fine in this trade. You would have been more than fine. You would have made a small killing on this trade. There's a very small difference here, 0.37. So I'm not even sure if the hourly is what held it up. Had this not been here, I don't think that hourly would have even held it up, to be honest with you. I think this is simply a backside test and it went after the hourly level. That's perfectly acceptable. I mean, it's just the greedier part of the backside range, right? Like, it's just the greedier level it can go to. But either would have netted you massive profits. But then, with that said, where are we here? Okay, let me back up here. With that said, to willingly go and say, oh, we've got an untested 15-minute here, right? Like, okay, fine, here and then here. Let's put it here. Let's give it the benefit of the doubt and even go higher. So we get less greedy. Let's get less greedy. That's fine. This is a level that hits on max. I just would have not been in the trade because there's no way as a 1-2 range test I would take that. I would just rather not be in the trade. It's just not safe enough. If I was going to take that level, I would have just taken the hourly or the backside as the first part of my range test. So I simply would have missed it on max. But it's obvious why. Like, that's a silly level to buy, in my opinion. That doesn't make sense. Again, I'm not trading on max, so I wouldn't have missed it. But even if I was, I 100% would not have taken that, because as a part of a 1-2 range test, once whatever's in here collapses, right? So let's go through the trail of this move. Replayer tool. Yes, there we go. Let's go through the trail of this move, right? Like, okay, fine. We have this. What did this test? Let's work back from here. Right here. And this stuff's already tested. So you've got this right here. That right there. There's nothing in here. This is tested. So I wouldn't even say that this is untested. So this is tested. This piece of the range is tested. This is untested. So that's my level right there. Like, where's the gap is from here to somewhere down there. Like, let's keep working with that gap and see if there's anything else. Actually, it's tested. This is not. This is. This one is. That's tested. That's not. So there's another one right here. Let's keep working with this. That one is not. So we got a few clear levels. There's nothing there. Okay, let's keep working with this. That's tested, so it's right here, right? Let's keep defining it. This range is tested. I wouldn't even use this. Maybe I'll keep it there, but I don't believe I'd be using this, because you can see tested there. That's tested there. You can see the small trail of back testing ranges that gets it there. This one's tested too, but that's fine. See if there's anything really clear here. Yeah, that guy's pretty clear. That's pretty clear there. This one's tested. That's not, but this is a little better. But this is back testing that range. So you've got a decision between these two levels. This one looks better. That's tested. That's tested. That's tested. That is not. I don't really feel like I need to go past this. So that's tested. Possibly you have this, something like that. And this is tested too, though. That's tested. It's tested. That's tested. All that crap is tested. Something like that. There's kind of an untested piece here on a higher time frame, but that's fine. Working through our time frames now. Let's go to the 15-minute and just hit play. You can see that this is like the untested piece right here. There it is right there. So that's perfect. That's gone. So we can just get rid of that. Maybe this is like, oops, shoot. So that was perfect. And then maybe you have this, maybe, but we got rid of that. There was nothing left there. And then even this is tested too. So this was definitely one of them. Like, we found that one. Would wonder if this caused a bounce. So basically this is tested here. So can't be any of that. That's all testing there. Can't be that. Could it be possibly this right here? Not really, because that's tested. You've got this right here. So you've got like this little one right here, possibly something this here. This one's not. And then here, even here, I would be like this, and even that's like pretty tested on the other time frames. There's really micro untested levels, but everything else, even on these micro untested levels. So when I'm looking at this, like here, look, when I'm looking at this and I'm saying, oh, this is untested here, it tested the higher time frame backside right there. Like it tested this right here. So is this just like a higher time frame test? Like, yeah, you see what I mean? So there's not really anything clear here. Like that one here was clear. This one here was pretty clear. Whatever we found inside of that one, that one was pretty clear. This one, not so much, because you can just keep going into higher time frames and say like, oh, look, that was tested. This range is already tested. It's already a tested range, right? Like this one, wherever it was, wasn't. Wherever that little stupid level here wasn't on the other time frame. Like this one right here, I guess it was. Yeah. This isn't tested back anywhere. Like you can see there's no larger back tests of something inside of here, right? You can't say the same thing about, where was it? This one right here, because the 15-minute was tested there. So the range itself was tested already once. So, you know, when you're looking for polarization and how to dissect these levels like that, like how are you finding these levels like that? You have to trail it back, right? Like this one here, like it's untested, like you can see, but like I would wonder what did this test on a higher time frame? It's already a tested range. Like maybe you have this, maybe. This is what I'd like to do. Go here and go to the 3-minute. Yeah, it actually just falls right through. Again, I wouldn't be taking that trade there. Is it an untested level? Could it cause a bounce? Yeah. But why would I take that trade? Why would I take that trade when you've already got the ranges are all testing? Like when I'm looking at this trade, 1 and 2, this is justifiable. Taking something here is, yeah, I don't think so.